So you probably heard about this here, in which there was a study saying that campaign rallies, Trump's specifically, so what the experts are saying, that Trump's campaign rallies likely led to over 700 COVID-related deaths. You've probably seen a bunch of leftists sharing this around, right? And as this is from Axios, as you can see, they're saying 18 Trump campaign rallies ultimately resulted in more than 30,000 incremental confirmed cases. So 30,000 confirmed cases, 700 deaths is what they're saying. That's what the Trump the Trump thing, the Trump campaigns ended up probably doing, says the researchers at Stanford University in a study published on Friday. And what they found is what it says, that our method is based on a collection of regression models, one for each event, that capture the relationships between post-event outcomes and pre-event characteristics, including demographics and the trajectory of COVID in similar counties. So I want to be clear about that here in a little bit, but let me continue to read some of the things that they have said, and we're going to go to the actual study here in a bit. For the vast majority of these variants, our estimate of the average treatment effect across the 18 events implies that they increased subsequent confirmed cases of COVID by more than 250 per 100,000 residents, they found. Our results suggest that the rallies resulted in more than 30,000 incremental cases and likely led to 700 or more than 700 deaths. Our analysis strongly supports the warnings and recommendations of, I'm so tired of this term, public health officials concerning the risk of COVID-19 transmission in a large group and gatherings, particularly when the degree of compliance with guidelines concerning the use of masks and social distancing, blah, 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 blah. The study, of course, has not been peer reviewed yet. So you may be asking, what the hell could they have been pointing to? Well, as it says right here, although our methods involve prediction models, this is right out of the actual study, it is important to understand that the nature of these predictions differ in critical ways from the types of predictions generated by epidemiological models. I'm going to repeat that one more time. I'm going to read it a little slower. Although our methods involve prediction models, it is important to understand that the nature of these predictions differ in critical ways from the types of predictions generated by epidemiological models. So they made up a model, okay? And this goes into detail about it. And that's really all that happened, right? These are models. And the models aren't like pointing to, okay, this particular person we know was infected from this particular or was at this, let's say, get together. And therefore they had to have infected this, and this person and that person. No, they're still muddying up the numbers to make a political statement. That's all that happened. Let's just be honest. I did an entire video dedicated on this. The science community has long been compromised. They've long been compromised, right? They've long been compromised. It's not this isn't like a study with RCTs or anything, right? This is just them having models, and they fuzzed up some numbers and said, well, this is likely what happened. There's no proof of it or anything. It's just models. And guys, we know how models in terms of COVID-19 have been absolutely disastrous in terms of how wrong they have been. This is the hilarious thing about all of this. Remember that experts had confirmed, supposedly, that the Black Lives Matter protests, which happened more often than Trump's campaigning, his rallies. It happened more often and across more spots throughout the country, right? They said that those likely didn't spread COVID-19. Now let's think about this, guys. Does the virus at all make some sort of differentiation of politics? Not that I'm aware of. I was not aware of that at all. I was not aware that the virus said, this person is here to protest for Black lives. We're not going to infect them. But those people over there, they're Trump supporters. We hate them. Therefore, we're going to infect them. I don't think that's how it works. Now, I could be wrong. And if someone has evidence to the contrary, please provide it for me, because from my knowledge, and I'm not an epidemiologist or a virologist or anything like that, I feel like I ain't stupid, you know. I ain't dumb. I know a little bit about a little bit. I don't think that's how viruses work. And because of that, you have to understand that a lot of these researchers that are within the scientific community have long been compromised. The fact that they even thought to do this speaks to their being compromised, because they certainly didn't do it. And when they did claim that they did it, they said that, well, no, they didn't stop the spread. In fact, there were even some that were saying, experts that were saying that it slowed the spread. Doesn't make any sense how you can get together for a political rally and not get infected, but you can more often get together to riot, to protest, to do all of that sort of stuff across the entire geographical area known as the United States of America. You can do that and somehow not infect your peers. This community has been compromised, and I think we should be speaking to them as such. When they got it all disastrously wrong, they got it disastrously wrong on the prediction models that worst case scenarios was going to predict this, this, and this, and they were all off. They were all wrong. Had to try to revise it along the way to save themselves. They were all absolutely wrong. They were spreading doom and gloom, never got doom and gloom. They're still clinging to this doom and gloom. As we mentioned earlier in the show, some spots and pockets are going into second lockdown, bro. But here we are, these scientists, right, who for whatever reason the science trademark has been treated as if they are just the beacons of truth, as if scientists don't argue among themselves, right? When it comes to the mask, when it comes to the lockdowns and all of this sort of stuff, all they keep talking about is the science, the science, the science. It's a religious cling that they have to the science, but it does go to show if you just say the science supports this, or you get someone in a lab coat to say this, this, and that, well, it just has to be true. Unbelievable. They've been compromised.